All right, welcome to another edition of the Big Blue Report featuring that guy, the two-time Super Bowl champion, former defensive captain of the New York Football Giants, a guy who's actually been in the Madden games.
How about
Jonathan
that?
Casillas.
Once
That's
upon a time.
Ryan Darlington, the professor, and I'm the guy who has played many of Madden games. My name is Randy Zellea from backsportspage.com. Guys, before we get started, this portion of the program is brought to you by NFLshop.com. We're the gear that Big Blue wears by shopping at NFL Shop for all your Giants field gear. The new season is here, so get the gear that the Giants wear now at NFLshop.com. All right, guys, week one, we're here. We did it. We survived the icy cold off season, the hot summery training camp, and now we're in the fall, and we have the Washington Commanders, 1 p.m. this upcoming Sunday.
This Sunday.
Very, very, very. This Sunday. Sunday. That's right. Come on down and see men hit each other. That's right. Okay. Bang helmets with each other. And yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was going to go certain places, but then we're going to
it's probably better. That's a family show.
We're good.
Yeah.
We are good right now.
Yeah.
So, boys, look, obviously the NFL season, as we record this at Wednesday night, tomorrow is the first game of the season. The Eagles and the Cowboys open up. So the NFC East is all battling each other this weekend. And look, all the speculation ends. We start seeing where everybody sort of goes. The depth chart, the first unofficial depth chart of the Giants came out this past week. And look who's the number 2 quarterback, huh? Jackson Dart, number 2.
Yep.
But for how long? I guess we'll start with you, JC. What excites you most about Sunday, 1 p.m. down in Maryland?
Oh, first off, football is back, baby.
Oh, thank God. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't watch baseball, so I know guys that watch baseball. They're good, because at least they have a sport that they can watch. But for a guy that doesn't watch baseball, it's been rough, guys.
Yeah.
Once the finals was over for basketball, it's been rough for me for sports. So, I've been watching my old film, you know what I mean? Like watching some old Giants film, and I'm just happy football's back, guys. I think we're on the same page about that. It's so exciting that this is the first week, and we got the show going. Football is less than 24 hours away. We're recording Wednesday. The first game is tomorrow. Great game. Ooh, great game too.
Yep.
Great.
Is there any way we can have them both lose though?
Yes, that's what we all want here in Giants Nation.
Yeah.
We want both L's, and we don't even got to say their names. I think everybody knows who opened up the season tomorrow. But I'm excited to watch that game. Not only is it a divisional game, but it's the first game of the season, and those games are always suspenseful, right? I think the Eagles opened it up last year in Brazil, right? Was that the Friday game again?
That was the Friday game.
Yeah, Friday game.
Doing tomorrow. But I remember that, and that was like a big. Okay, this is going to be a hard season for the Giants to swallow. Watching Saquon score 3 touchdowns on opening night, but this weekend, the game tomorrow is going to be exciting. I'm so excited that the Giants get to open up still with the division game on the road, like I've done my whole career playing against Dallas those 3 years in a row. And it's something that you've been preparing for since last January. You know what I mean? Like it's something that when the schedules first came out and you understood who you were playing, you literally start preparing for that team when So whenever the schedules come out, that's how long they've been planning to play this game, both sides, the Commanders and the Giants. So these guys are preparing for what they saw last year, what they're anticipating this year. The thing I'm most excited about is, of course, the matchups. You think about the Giants and what they have coming in. Russell Wilson, former Badger. I never played with him, but he went to the same school as I did, and I watched him have his success. I've played against him. So excited to see his return to greatness, because I think that's what the Giants need at that quarterback position to be able to survive this gauntlet of a schedule, right, guys? Excited to see Russell Wilson. Excited to see Malik Nabers. Very, very concerned about Andrew Thomas, right? That's a big concern for me. For sure going into this game. I can't talk about the offense without mentioning that. Excited to see what Cam Scatterbull has as a young, talented kid that destroyed people last year, right? And then watching the matchup with those talented linebackers on the other side, with 54. The guy's been playing tremendous football for his entire career. And Louvu, the young linebacker who's been playing really good football, watching that matchup throughout the whole game. And then on the other side of the football, watching the second year rookie offensive player of the year and Jayden Daniels go against, I think, the defensive rookie of the year this year and Abdul Carter, watching that matchup.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I want to see Dexter Lawrence kick ass all game. We think that's going to happen. But Abdul Carter is an unknown. Jayden Daniels kind of proved what he can do, but it's also the sophomore slump that factors in. You know, we've seen the kid CJ from Houston go through that last year, right?
Yep.
CJ Stroud.
I'm excited. Yeah, CJ. I'm excited to see that matchup from who have we been this excited about that the Giants drafted, right? The Giants draft, we always, Andrew Thomas and other guys that have been drafted in the first round. But I don't think that in my recent memory, there's been no class like this class in terms of that first round draft pick and Jackson Dart. But that first round draft pick, we have so high standards and we have so high expectations for him. So I really want to see that matchup between him and a very talented Jayden Daniels quarterback. And of course, the rest of the offense, Austin Eckler, Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry, all of those guys. But those things I'm most intrigued of. And I think we can definitely expound upon all of those things as this show goes on today.
And I also have to say too, you talk about the draft class. I remember back in 2022, people were excited about the fact that they got Kayvon Thibodeau and the offensive line help. This draft class has sort of blown it away. I think mostly because what we saw in the preseason from Jackson Dart. We saw all these great things from him, and everyone's like, okay, this could be the guy. This could be the guy. Now people are sitting there, have the watch now on Russell Wilson being like, okay, he's, Dable's going with him for game one, but all of a sudden, if that goes sideways, you just put Jackson Dart in there, boom, boom, boom. I remember listening to John Mara say in 2019, when Daniel Jones was drafted, he said, I hope Daniel never steps on the field. He hoped that Eli was going to be able to come out and play super well, and he never came on the field. I think Brian Dable, in his own way, is sitting there saying, I hope Russell Wilson plays so well that Jackson doesn't get onto the field. I think that's the general feeling, what they're hoping. Now, again, I've been saying this to Ryan all week, JC. We're all looking at the schedule, sitting there saying, oh, my God, the Giants are going to struggle here, are going to struggle there. But we keep on saying that by looking at the other teams on the schedule and basing off what we did from last year. But the Giants have improved in almost in every troubled position that they had last year. Yes, there's still some problem positions, but they have gotten better all around their team. So maybe some of those teams, those games that we're sitting there saying, oh, that's an L, may not be an L this year because this team has gotten better.
That's what I guess that's what I'm most excited to see, right? On Sunday is the first opportunity to see if the hype is real, to see if the excitement that we all have and that some have turned into expectations, is it real? Could this be real? Could we potentially be that much better than we were last year? And if the line will hold up, and if Russell will be the guy that we think he can be, and if the secondary is that much more talented with Holland and Adebo and Phillips having another year and all of this stuff, can the receivers hold up? Can the running game get going? I mean, we've got the potential, right? We've got the potential, and we get to see if it's real on Sunday. And that's what I'm most interested in finding out. Not all of it's going to be real. Right? It's not going to be like from worst to first, I don't think. Right? I hope it is, but it might be. It might be.
Happened. And it's happened in this division too, Ryan.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. And it happened last year, for God's sake. Because the Commanders won, 4 games 2 seasons ago, and they won 12 last year. So you're right. You're absolutely right. It could be. But I want to see the potential realized, right? I want to see where it's real. And I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited to see all the ones play an entire game. I want to see what it looks like when we put our best on the field and leave it there and have it there for the entire game. Can we really do the things that we think that we ought to be able to do? And we find out on Sunday. That's exciting for me.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting to see what this team looks like on every aspect of the of the organization. I think, there's a lot of talent now on each side, and now it's also going to be very interesting to see how Dave, because last year Dable got a lot of criticism on how he coached some of those games.
Rightfully so, by the way.
So yeah, so now it's, if the talent is there, and now where do you go? Like now Dable has to make these decisions and has to do everything, because then it'll be more clear what kind of job Dable's able to do with it now that he's got talent in those positions.
It also does boil down to, the players making plays, right? I mean, we had this discussion last year as well. You can scheme a game till you're blue in the face, but if the players don't actually perform up to their level of capability, it's not going to work. I think they do have a good offensive playbook. I do like the fact that Kafka is calling plays. The last 2 seasons where Dable was calling plays did not go well offensively. And so maybe he has the ability to be a little bit more creative with the play calling, or just to call the right thing at the right time, so that, we're going to be able to take advantage of the matchups that are out there. So I don't know, man. I mean, I think the players are now in a position to make the plays, and it's going to be incumbent upon them to do that.
Yeah, I agree. JC, from your perspective, what do you remember about going into opening days when expectations on a team that you were on were not exactly high?
You know what? I never ever even paid attention to that. It was always about us, and to be honest with you, every single year that starts the year, I always thought we had a chance. Yeah. And of course the goal is always a Super Bowl. Any team that you play for, the goal is to win the Super Bowl. Like, it don't matter if everybody else sees you as a team that doesn't have a chance. Like, that's everybody's goal, and then individually you all have individual goals: winning the division, staying undefeated at home, keeping the team under a certain amount of rushing yards, like stuff like that. But like, those are like pretty much everybody has those goals. So you got to think there's 32 teams in the NFL. Everybody has those aspirations, those goals, and they all believe it some type of way. Some teams believe it with their soul, those AFC teams that are competing at the top of the year every year. Definitely Philly thinks that. Commanders probably think that too. Dallas definitely thinks that. We all know they're delusional. Like, we all understand that whole fan base led by Jerry Jones. Like, they're just delusional. But like, realistically, there's only like 6 teams that have a real chance. And those teams aren't really declared right now, because when I say 6 teams, it's not 6 teams right now in September. It's six teams come December, because attrition plays a major part in the NFL. So everybody has that thought process, but you never truly know. And that's the beautiful thing about the NFL. You really never know what the team is. Like Detroit a few years ago, like, to say they was going to make it to the Super Bowl with all those injuries was foolish. They got far despite those injuries, but because of those injuries, they're not beating the Eagles. They're not beating talented teams like the Commanders in the playoffs. You understand what I'm saying? So right now, everybody thinks that they can make it. That's such a beautiful thing in sport. It's not like F1 racing where those bottom tier teams, they're just thinking like, maybe, just maybe I can get a point today. Everybody thinks they can make it to the Super Bowl. I promise you. I was on Tampa. We didn't win games. Like, I'm talking about for months at a time. The following year, we thought we could beat the Saints and be better to them and win a division and sneak into the playoffs and do something. Like, we thought that. Again, we went 2 months without winning. We were delusional, but you believe that. And that is a great thing to see when the season starts. Everybody has belief. So you really get great football, even though it's a lot of missed tackles, a lot of mental errors, but you get everybody playing with absolute belief in that first week. And it's not till week 8 when people start making business decisions. You know what I'm saying? Everybody right now is excited to play in this game, and you see it. You see it on the field. You see it all over. People making mistakes because they're so overly excited. That's a thing that we pay attention to in a game like this. But what I wanted to kind of talk about a little bit is Dan Quinn going against Daboll. Like, Brian Daboll got something to prove. 2 years removed from being coach of the year. Now it's like people have been questioning him literally ever since that playoff game. Since that playoff game, they've been questioning him since then. And I don't know how he's fared. I know how, because I'm biased and I got a biased ear to it, right? I don't know how he's fared. Is he failing in the eyes of everybody else? Because this is a huge test for him. Because I think everybody kind of understands who Dan Quinn is, and I think the jury's kind of open, on Daboll. And I think this can be a big statement game for him if he calls the right calls. Is he even the offensive coordinator this year, right? And that's something that I want to see develop over these next few days. Maybe we'll get a better indication, because I'm pretty sure he didn't say nothing yet, right? I've been paying attention. I didn't hear him say nothing yet.
Listen, Daboll going to Daboll. He's not going to tell you a damn thing.
Yeah, we ain't going to know till the first play gets called on Sunday.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's going to be Russell. It's going to be Russell Wilson, the Nabers on the sideline. That's what it's going to be. I already got the card. I already got the card. It's right here. This is the one that's going to be on Russell's wrist. It's going to say, throw it to Nabers. That's it. That's going to be the play.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about Daboll, and it's kind of indicative of the way the teams have played. The pendulum goes in each direction so far, right? The ceiling is so high, but the floor is so low, right? And we've seen both of them. So the question becomes, have we finally gotten the ability to kind of end up somewhere in the middle, right? Or maybe kind of trending towards the positive instead of being in the basement like we have been the last couple of years. The one thing that I can say, though, is that I think this year we are going into week one and I'm going to knock wood as I say this, you all better do it too, but as relatively unscathed as we have ever been able to go into a game one of the season. We don't have a Sam Cosmi that's out for 4 games. We don't have a Rashee Rice that's suspended for 6 games, right? We have
an Andrew Thomas.
We have a limited Andrew Thomas, and that's one name. That's one name, and it's not even questionable. It's not even doubtful. It's limited. We'll know more tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
Ryan, if we're going to talk about that, can we please segue to that conversation? Because this is something that I want to talk about.
Sure.
This scares
the shit out of me.
I was going to say the F out of me, but I paused for a second.
It's family
because
show.
the way I would have said that F word, you would have been like, he says that too much. He's a professional F word user.
F-bomb deliverer.
And I didn't want y'all to, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm really nervous about that. I know I brought it up earlier.
Yeah.
Because Andrew Thomas, his health has really put this offense in jeopardy the last few years. I think the Giants have been relying on him and him delivering, because when he's healthy, he's one of the best tackles in the league, no question. But since he's been hurt the last few years, that revolving door at left tackle has been abysmal. And that's not even like, that's a fact. Like, those numbers are really bad coming out of that position with Andrew Thomas not being there. And if with him limited, honestly, it's not as pretty either. Yeah. He's struggled when he was hurt. We've seen it in that Dallas game when he played through the injury. We all thought, he lost a step, and actually he was hurt, right? Mm-hmm. We've seen that happen. So for me, I'm very nervous about that. I don't want the Commanders to wreck the game because they have a position that we can't see Russell Cook, because no one can stop the left side of the line from slowing down. And then you keep Tracy in, and then now we got 3 receivers against 5'7" DBs. It can be a problem, like a big problem. And we've seen it happen before, but I don't want to understate it, Ryan. Like you said it, like, just one position. That's really the most important position to have healthy. Let's be honest about
position.
Behind quarterback.
The one thing that I will say, though, is that the depth behind him this year is different than we had the depth behind him last year. When Josh Azudu is your best backup as left tackle, you're going to have a problem, right? So I wonder even if he doesn't play, because keep in mind, not only is he limited and not going to be 100%, even if he does play, he's cold. He's coming in cold. They haven't had the reps with him as an offensive line, and they haven't had the same kind of chemistry able to form, because he's coming in right at the end of training camp and going into the season. But I think the floor of the backup, the quality of the backups this year is better than it has been in the past. So I don't know that we would see an Illuminor having to go over to the left tackle. I don't think we would see an Azudu out there and on the left tackle position, which was dismal and kind of really a bad idea. Hudson is not Andrew Thomas, 110%. but he is more capable than the backups that we have had in those positions before. And he did show, I mean, it wasn't a great preseason for him, but he did show some ability to not be Swiss cheese up there.
Does the rookie play if Andrew Thomas doesn't play and Hudson comes in, and let's say he gives up, knock on wood, hope he does, because this is horrible to say, but he gives up a couple sacks, maybe 3 sacks. Does the rookie play? Does the rookie play left tackle?
I think he has to.
I think he does.
Yeah. Because the worst thing that you can do is take Illuminor off on the right and put him on the left.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think Illuminor is one of our better linemen that we have.
I agree. So you can't mess with that. I mean, the right side of that line is actually pretty good, right? I believe in GVR. Yes, he's older, but he's seasoned, and he knows what he's doing out there. He is at the very worst a serviceable right guard. And Illuminor, as you said, is the best lineman we've got. So I'm not too worried about the right side of that line. I definitely do think Bo gets some looks if Hudson comes in there and plays like garbage. And quite frankly, I'd be interested in seeing that too. Right. Bo has proven himself very, very capable against 2s and 3s from other teams. And I would love to see him take some first team reps and see what that looks like. Because quite frankly, I think he is the future of that line. I mean, one way or the other, whether he's on the right or the left, and they've given him a lot of exposure in both places. I think we're definitely going to see him in a starting role in the next couple of years. So,
guys, the other big thing too is you look at that defensive front. Also, that's like, I know we're transitioning here, but the defensive front, it's been getting hyped all offseason for the Giants. What do you expect to see, since again they haven't all been there throughout the preseason? What do you expect to see? Is there going to be a little bit of a transition, or is it going to take a little bit of time to get this thing sort of meshing together? They haven't been on the field together all during the preseason. What do you guys think of the front line sort of having the mesh?
Our defensive front?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just adding a couple pieces to a second-year defense, right? Yeah. Last year, everything was new for everybody. Right? Every year you got to work on, rookies adjusting in to the offense or the defense, right? But this year, this is the second year on the Shane Bowen's defense. I did have a conversation with Bobby Okereke on a flight, and we talked about him being in the second year and him taking more of the leadership and ownership of what kind of transpired last year, and them adjusting from Wink Martindale's aggressive scheme, to more of the conservative kind of, not say wait for things to happen, but less aggressive as Wink Martindale. I don't want to never say a defense is waiting for something to happen, but there's less aggressive, right? Wink Martindale blitz so much. And then also the coaching style is that something that you have to get used to. And with the leaders that the Giants have, like Dexter Lawrence and even Holland and Adebo, those guys coming over, they bring leadership. It may be from different regimes, but when you come into a new team and you have that leadership and you understand what it is because you've been around it, you've seen what it is, and you bring it to another team, like, people respect that, i.e. Brian Burns from the year before. People respect Brian Burns. Now he's a captain. Like, people really respect the guy and what he's done and what he's shown. So I expect those guys to come in, and I don't expect them to be perfect because this is their first year on his defense. But I think the team collectively is going to be better. And for me, the number one thing I'm looking for, how are they up front physically, and can they stop the run? The whole big thing this offseason in the last week been the Micah Parsons situation. Jerry Jones famously said, we need to stop the run. Basically saying, you're soft, bro, and they run right at you. We can get rid of you because you're not doing anything for us in terms of stopping the run. That's basically what he said. We need to stop the run.
Yeah.
You're not going to have a good record in the NFL if you cannot stop the run. I promise you that. So if the Giants can stop the run, especially in this division that have, I think, pretty good quarterback play here in this division, right? You got your Dak Prescott, you got your guy down in Philly, Hurts, who's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. And this kid that won the Heisman not too long ago, who was the offensive rookie of the year. You're going to get good quarterback play in this division. Which defenses we're going to be able to slow those guys down is going to be the key. Not just slowing the quarterbacks down, But if you can't run the ball, that's when you put those quarterbacks into tough situations. Jayden Daniels is the leading rusher for the Commanders last year. So if the Giants can do a good job against the Commanders in a rush game, because their culture, from no matter what the regime is, their culture is 50-50 run the ball and pass the ball. That's their culture there. They never been a pass-happy offense, ever. They'll be losing games. They still giving the ball to Brian Robinson. They have that in their culture, their identity. Yeah. If you can stop the run versus this Commanders team, you can shut them down. You can make them one-dimensional, and then let's see our athletes against their athletes. I think Jayden Daniels is incredible. I'm waiting to see what Abdul Carter does against that kid. And I think a guy like Abdul Carter can make a guy like Jayden Daniels have a bad night.
Can you spy Jayden Daniels with Abdul Carter? Is he fast enough?
Yes, you can. This is the thing. This is what listen. If I was the coach, we doing 1-on-1, 10-on-10.
Yeah, right.
Abdul Carter, you got number 5.
That's it. Okay.
That's it. Everybody else get everybody else, because I think the way Abdul Carter plays the game of football, because you got to remember, he's pretty good off the ball too, if not just as good as he is on the ball. And if you got a guy that can play in space, a guy that can play off the line, a guy that can play up close to the line, you got a tremendous football player there. He possesses the capabilities and the attributes to chase him down. He's tough enough and skillful enough to get through the old lineman. It's going to be very exciting to watch what packages Shane Bowen, draws up, because I think Kayvon Thibodeau's having a pretty solid career. Maybe he's not living up to the hype, but he's been good enough. He's been good enough. I think he's been playing well enough, especially for how much he's been playing. Then you got one of the most dominant men in all of sports, not just football, and Dexter Lawrence. What he does to men that weigh just as much as him. Dexter Lawrence is not a little person. He's 350 pounds. Let's not get it twisted. I'm not saying he's moving guys that's bigger than him, because I haven't met too many that's bigger than him. But he's moving guys that are over 300 pounds like they're children.
Right. They have to double him. Or otherwise, they're in another time zone before the end of the play.
With the Giants having that, people have to deal with that. I think that creates the Abdul Carter plug and play type of situation. Let's scheme up a play where Abdul Carter is one-on-one blocked or free. Abdul Carter not getting blocked because Shane Bowen put in a scheme that manipulates. Mind you, they've been working on this since for a long time.
April,
you know what I'm saying? Like whenever they released that freaking schedule, right? So let me tell you something. I'm gonna segue to my Thursday night game, my third year coming off my injury, my second year. I missed my whole second year. We opened up against the defending champion Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers, opening night in Green Bay, New Orleans Saints. Greg Williams. We've been working on this blitz since April. Because we see when we overload the side with the shotgun, he pulls the running back up, and then they got to sort through. I'm free. JC's free. So they schemed it up, and I was free 3 times.
Wow.
The first time I got a sack, I had the first sack of the 2011 season. The second time I got a quarterback pressure, and the third time we didn't fool Aaron Rodgers. He made me miss completely. He made me miss completely. But there's time that you have to see what's in front of you, because you've been working on this game plan for so long. And I promise you, Abdul Carter will be Jonathan Casillas when they were scheming for me. But he's, I think, a little bit better and a little bit stronger than I am in rushing the passer. So I want to see what scheme they come up with to get Abdul Carter on Jayden Daniels one-on-one. Because I'm telling you, that's going to be a matchup, and I think Jayden Daniels is incredible. I really do. But I think Abdul Carter can put a little second thought in his head because of the way he's been treating him for the game. You know what I mean?
Well, and not for nothing, but I think he's going to be coming out, given the fact that the last real exposure that any of us had to Abdul Carter was him getting pancaked by the New England Patriots. I think that might make him come out a little bit angrier, which is just fine by me.
I want to see him get nasty.
Yeah, let's do that. Right. But, and it's honestly, the other thing that we can't forget is that we did add pieces in the offseason to help us plug up the run, right? Roy Robertson Harris is an animal on that line. We picked up Darius Alexander, of course, in the third round, but we've also got Chauncey Golston, right? So we have a number of other players now that we didn't have. We have depth along the defensive line too that we didn't have before. We had Nacho playing so many snaps last year that he couldn't be as effective as he needs to be, right? He's not necessarily an every down player. If we can give him some time to rest, he can be more effective than he was last year. So, I mean, the we need to get push from the interior linemen. We need to set the edge with the edge players, and if we can do that, we can really bottle them up, and it's going to cause problems for.
It's going to be hard to do that, though, boy. That's the thing about Jayden Daniels.
Got to do it quick.
That dude, watching his tape from LSU, just the stuff he was doing with people that's not on his level. Like at this level, everybody's pretty much on the same level, right? Everybody's pretty much on the same level. Like you're not going to go against defensive ends that run 5 flat. You're not seeing that in the NFL ever, right? You're going to get guys that run 4.7 and under, right? So this is fair playing field. But what I seen that kid doing in LSU with guys that's not on his level, he had eyes in the back of his head. He was embarrassing guys. The thing is, when a quarterback gets comfortable and they start feeling themselves, they start making guys look like little kids. Yeah. Patrick Mahomes does it. Patrick Mahomes is not faster than nobody on the NFL field, but he looks fast.
Yeah,
he looks really fast.
He can process super quick.
Yeah. You sound like the guy from Longest Yard. Remember the guy's like, he's fast. He makes slow people look fast. He makes fast people look fast. But
it is true. I think he's an exceptional talent, and Shane Bowen does have to come up, I think, with a great scheme. Because I think this kid's special. I think Jayden's going to be special. I really do. He showed us last year. He's like, you got to think, right? Lamar Jackson came into the league. He's a 2-time MVP, right? But we all know Lamar has improved in his passing. We've seen it happen. We've seen him blossom to be a pretty good passer. Not like this, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, not that. He's not doing 78% completion percentage. But you know who is? Jayden Daniels is.
Yeah, right.
Jayden Daniels went the first half of the season. He was completing 90% of his passes. That's very scary. Like for real. I'm a defender. Like, bro, I never seen nobody like Jayden Daniels. Like Cam Newton was like that, but Cam Newton was like a 60% and under completion percentage guy.
Yeah.
Like not to say you're not fearful, but this fear that's there. But this guy, he was one of the most efficient quarterbacks last year, early in the season. And he had his rookie slump, but early in the season, he was completing 90% of his passes. He was converting all third downs. Like the Commanders looked like a wrecking ball last year. There's a reason why they went to the NFC Championship game. It's not a fluke. That wasn't a fluke. This kid is tremendous.
Yeah.
And I think, and I hope, they got a package for this guy. To Abdul Carter to take some of that steam off of this, and start this little sophomore slump campaign. I think this defense, and you got to think the Giants culturally wise throughout history, right? Before the days of Lawrence Taylor, like the Giants have only won because of their defense.
Yeah.
And that's not going to change. It's in their identity. It's in their soul. It's in their spirit. Right.
Glad we got back to that. Right.
It's there. It's here. So there's have to be statement games by the defense. I'm talking about like taking a team, Commanders that almost averaged 30 points last year a game, taking a team like Commanders and holding them to 10 points. Like that's the type of stuff that the Giants need to do. You know why? Because to be honest, they got Malik Nabers, but if you really look at their offense, what else do they truly have that says, oh, the Giants are going to be great at this on offense? You look at the defense, you see the possibilities there, and they showed glimpses of it, right? The Giants defense have to carry them through games. And I'm excited to watch this second-year defense of Shane Bowen. I'm excited to watch Bobby Okereke and his emergence because he's definitely a true leader. I think he's a tremendous linebacker. I think Micah McFadden is going to have another good year and possibly make a Pro Bowl because of this defense is slated for the weak side linebacker to make plays. And I know if I'm a weak side linebacker and I got a great front four in front of me, that means I could just fly around and play fast. So look for Micah McFadden to have a career year this year. Because think about it front. Think about what we think is going to happen. Disruption, right? What happens for a linebacker behind that? that's tip passes, that's clean up sacks, that's mugging the running back and getting sacks because everybody's covered up. Yeah. Watch Micah McFadden have a great year this year. And this defense, I'm just excited to see this defense. I'm trying to figure out the words to like put a punctuate on this long run out sentence that I've been saying, but I think we all can be on the same page. I'm so excited about this defense because I think this is Giants football that we're going to see in 2025 this season.
Yep. But the wins, I think it's definitely exciting to think that that we do have the ability to slow down a team, even as talented as they are. And by the way, you can add 860 yards on the ground for Jayden Daniels last year as well. But in order for us to capitalize on that, we have to score points, right? We have to score points on the offense. And if we're going to, we can actually, on the offense, they can help the defense by keeping Jayden Daniels off the field, right? If we can get the run established, it feels like we have to get the run established early because that will open up the play action pass for Russell, which is his bread and butter, right? And if we can keep him clean, he's going to have much better success than if we've got him running for his life. I think the win percentage when he's clean is so much better than when he's not. And so if we can get a fast start with the run game on the offense and have the stifling defense that you're talking about, that's a recipe for success, fellas.
And not only that, too, I really want to see the quarterback situation. I know that always ends up going back to the quarterback situation, but I want to see that thing get straightened out as well.
Right, hey, rightfully so, though. Rightfully so, Randy. Like you can never be at fault for bringing up the New York Giants quarterback situation.
No, if you ever need a quick topic to talk about New York Giants football, quarterback situation, boom, there it is. No, but like if you look at remember what the big conversation was? Okay, they had I keep saying it when draft day started, they had no idea that they were going to get Jackson Dart. So the plan was Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Tommy DeVito. That was the original plan. Jackson Dart sort of, I don't want to say fell in their lap, but that's what ended up happening.
Yeah.
And that brought up a whole nother type of conversation. Now Tommy's in New England and Jameis is now listed as the number 3 quarterback.
Number 3.
You know what I mean? So my question, I guess, what has to happen for Jackson Dart to get on the field minus Russell Wilson getting hurt?
Well, if I've been here, I heard a scenario where they said Dayball's been scheming up plays to get Jackson Dart on the field week 1 because they do have different playing styles in Russell Wilson and Jackson Dart. You know, there's no question that Russell Wilson can run any type of offense, especially a pro-style offense that involves a lot of play-action football. Jackson Dart showed like he can do that, but he's more of the RPO game from what these young college quarterbacks, the Jayden Daniels of the world, has been doing since they were in college. So there is a different offense, but at the same time, you want to keep defenses on their heels, right? Yeah. Why not throw Jackson Dart in there and get them going? Why not give the defense something else to think about? So I've heard that rumor. It's a rumor, but I like spreading nice rumors that get us thinking a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
It's a nice rumor.
It's a beautiful nice rumor because what Jackson Dart showed for me, and I'm going to use that for it now, he showed me that he don't give a fuck. And I like the way when you play quarterback and you don't give a fuck, you see how I put that emphasis on it?
I hear it.
I'm a professional.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, for sure. Target acquired.
And he's a guy that when he gets in the game, Giants faithful, they're going to be excited.
Oh yeah.
And if they see him, let's say it happens on maybe the second, third down of the game. They're still in the first 15. You see it on the second, third down. It might even be the second drive, and you get number 6-0 running out. He's number 6, right? Yeah, number 6 running out there. Trotting out. See, he ain't even got it in our brains yet that he's the number 6. But I think eventually. This kid, I seen some special stuff from him.
Yeah,
I seen some special stuff from him, and I think he's going to go out there and perform very well. But let's be real about this. If Russell Wilson plays well this year, and he can do his thing, and he can do the Russell Wilson stuff that we've seen from old, those moon balls, and get a guy like Jalen Hyatt back involved in this offense, run the football efficiently, because quarterback play is not always about the throws you make, it's about the plays that you get your offense into. You see a loaded front, You know, you see a front that look like you're going to be, you know, stacked up against the run, a single high type of situation, and you check into a run or check into a throw. Like that throw, that moon ball is not happening if you don't check out that run.
Yeah.
You know, so it goes a lot into the decision making of a quarterback. And that's why you have Russell Wilson starting at quarterback. That's why you bring in Jameis Winston and a Russell Wilson when you have a big question mark on your quarterback situation for the last 6 years here in New York. So the Giants addressed it. Now it's going to be exciting to see if Russell Wilson can do what we've been waiting for since 2017, maybe even 16, because Eli wasn't good that year when I was there either. Maybe even 2016 to get some really good, competent quarterback play. Can he check down and settle for a freaking punt instead of squeezing it in or throwing a bad ball or throwing an interception, right? We want to see that type of quarterback play for the New York Football Giants, because when you have good quarterback play and you have decent play from the rest of the team, you got a pretty good team in the NFL.
Sure.
That's that's the truth.
Smart, clean football. Smart, clean football. We just haven't had it. We have not had it.
Just haven't had it.
And so I also
leading the league in sacks.
Yeah. Right.
Leading the league for years in sacks with two teams in the division that leads the league defensively in sacks. It's not a great combination.
No.
And the funny thing is too, you know, you just said before of exciting football and sort of clean football. I felt like back in 2022 when we made the playoffs, I felt like the ball was just bouncing our way. There was always that one or two plays where I'm like, the one game that sticks in my brain is the Ravens game, where we had like two catastrophic things happen and we won the game.
Lamar Jackson fumbled the ball. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
When does that happen?
Like
in the playoffs.
Yeah. Too soon?
I wasn't going to bring that up, but all right.
Too soon? All right. Yikes. But no, like you know, like you just said, Lamar Jackson, you're up 7 points with 3 minutes left. Why are you throwing the football? And we get an interception, and then you know, things happen.
Well, look at the first game of the season, the Tennessee game. The guy missed the field goal at the end of the game. We should have lost that game.
Yeah.
You know? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was about to say, and you can even look back all the way back to when Daniel's rookie game when they played Tampa. He misses the field goal. You know, I mean, like,
listen, guys, you gotta have all things aligned for you to be a great team in the NFL.
Sure.
And that's a fact. You know, there's such a high level of performance. You know, like the worst team in the league is still the 32nd best football team in the league and in the world, excuse me, still in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no other team better than teams in the NFL. That's why you always get great games. A lot of games are not blowouts in the NFL. A lot of games are within one score. You know, so that's why the NFL is so great to watch, because the level of play is basically so even. You got so many guys that have been poked and prodded for years, and they're going out to performing at a high level consistently all the time. The thing is with the Giants, we haven't felt that way. We haven't felt like the Giants have good football players in their team for years now.
Yeah.
And if they were good at the beginning of the year, they got hurt. And at the end of the year, we were a shell of ourselves. I think that's more of the case than the former. But still, we are looking at this right now, and I'm going back to what you said, Ryan, about going into the season with basically everybody healthy besides the left tackle. That's exciting football that I feel like that could be played. And if Andrew Thomas can be serviceable in this game and hold it down and not just have the left side of the line being a swinging gate, I think we're going to do very well against a very talented Commanders team that is playing very much inspired football. And whenever you got a team that make it to the championship game and lose, they got like something to prove the next year.
They got fire.
You know, like they really do. You've seen it happen. You've seen the Eagles do it the last few years, and they end up getting back to the Super Bowl. You know, the Eagles have been a very good team for the last 5 or 6 years. You know what I'm saying? So don't think the Commanders are not trying to follow in those footsteps. You know,
for sure.
And we all know what Dallas is doing. They still got their thumb up their ass since 1996 because Jerry Jones is still leading the way, you know, trying to create controversy. He said, don't think we can't trade him for a person right now. We can do it right. We can do that right now. Jerry, you're not giving those picks away, dog.
Yeah.
Like, Jerry, just stop, bro. Like, you did what you had to do because you dropped the ball 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, if they would have got that shit handled back before the draft, and they traded him because they couldn't afford to pay him, and you already paid your receiver and your quarterback. But if you knew that, and you knew he was on the way out because he can't stop the run, and you're better off without him, because that's what Jerry Jones believes in his core. He believes that to his core. Then you get that deal done in April, and you use those first-round draft picks in this past draft.
Sure.
And you get rid of that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So for me, the Giants right now, the first two teams, the Giants can really come out the gates and prove something to this league, because let's be honest about this. When you talk about New York football, they're not talking about the Jets or the Giants. They're talking about the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about the Buffalo Bills because they're the right team to talk about.
Yeah.
They got the quarterback in place. They got the coach in place. They got the team in place. They don't even have a talented roster up and down like other teams in the AFC, but they got the quarterback situation right.
On lockdown. Yep.
That is it. So you don't question them. So for the Giants, let's put some respect on the Giants' name. Let's go out there and perform well this weekend on a big stage, because we're not too far removed from that 40-0 down in Dallas.
Yeah.
Where that literally tore our hearts out of our chests as fans.
Yeah.
We just had the most hope for the Giants after you go to the playoffs and win a playoff game on the road, and then you play against the Eagles for the third time and get mollywopped. But you said we still are embracing that the Giants are a playoff team finally again. And then you lose 40-0.
40-0. Yeah.
Just a few months later. So for me, I need the Giants to go out there and perform. I need the Giants to go out there and make a statement to this league.
And they can, right? I mean, that's the thing. We have the potential. They have put together two phenomenal draft classes the last 2 years. We've added people to our defense that's going to make it more substantial, like, I hope you heard me what I said. Make a good defense more substantial. We have addressed the situation with the quarterback. There is the possibility, right? We are in a position to a much greater degree than we have been over the last couple of years, and we just need to see it happen.
Yeah, it's really the truth. And now I got to ask both of you guys, the first two games, let's put a little prediction here on this one. First two games, are we going 1-1, 2-0, 0-2? Ryan, start with you.
All right. I've been thinking about this, right? And there's the pragmatic part of me that says, let's be realistic about where we stand, right? And then there's the fan side of me that's like, fuck a bunch of that. Let's be optimistic about what we can do, where we can be, what this team can do, right? I think if we can beat the Commanders, if we go into Washington and we beat the NFC, the team that went to the NFC Championship game last year, then I think we will have the momentum to go into Dallas and beat up a Dallas team that is not what they once were. Okay? So we have the potential. The fan side of me really does believe this. We have the potential to be 2-0.
Yep.
Coming back home against the Kansas City team that never starts fast, right? Yep. They always have issues at the beginning of the year, so we can't expect.
Last year, I think they won like 13 straight games. So slow down, go your roll.
Right. Well, no, but that's during the season, right? I mean, they didn't start out that way. So
hashtag truth.
Talk about that. No, I'm talking about.
But Ryan, but the sentiment is felt. Yeah. Around, like, it's a similar sentiment that we all feel about the New York Giants. Like, this season, going into this season, it feels different. Yes. It feels special. Yeah, you got the same coaching staff. Yeah, you got the same GM who everybody, questioned the decision that he made a few years ago by letting Saquon just walk, right? But it feels different. It feels like they brought in the right pieces that the Giants really needed to take that next step forward.
Yes.
And it's a rough schedule. It is a rough schedule. But who gives a fuck?
Well, that's it.
Who gives a fuck?
That's why you play the games.
It's only one game at a time.
That's right.
Yeah. It's only one game at a time. You're only playing one team at a time, and you're not playing a team that won a Super Bowl last year till a couple weeks into the season. So you at least get to have a couple good, low level. When I say low level, let's call them middleweights and light heavyweight fights until you really get to the heavyweight champ. Because the Chiefs, like you said, last year the offense kind of sputtered early, and they wasn't really a great team until the end of the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're always going to be tough in the playoffs. But the Chiefs are always very beatable during the regular season. They got a magic man over there by the name of Patrick Mahomes, and he does magical things. But the Giants have a chance every single night to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't felt that confident in at least 2 years saying that with the New York Giants because of the quarterback play that's really kind of forsaken the Giants over the last couple of years because what we saw from Daniel Jones and what the masterful job that Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka did in 2022 and making offense be very run dominant using a quarterback that has fantastic legs, like literally he's tall, got beautiful long legs in Daniel Jones, but using his legs to ascend a team to being a physically dominant upfront football team that ran the ball down people's throats with both a talented running back and a quarterback. Now, they may not be this team that, this year, but at the end of the day, if you can have a mindset going into the game that we want to physically dominate these guys, we want to run the ball 51% of the time. We want to be a little bit more run heavy than we are pass heavy. And we can go ahead and physically dominate these guys because a team like the Commanders with a talented quarterback like that, what you need to do is steal a possession and try to keep Jayden Daniels off the field as much as possible. I think one of the key elements to this game, of course, is going to be the turnover margin, but I think time of possession is going to be probably the second most important stat when it comes to this game, because if you can keep that guy off the field and Jayden Daniels, he's a guy that no matter where you're out on the field, you can go for it on fourth down because not only is he super talented, he adds himself as an extra rusher in certain situations. That always gives an advantage to the offense, always does. Always gives advantage to the offense. He's that type of guy that you can trust his decision-making until you meet a team that makes him confused, that discombobulates him, that gets him, not comfortable. And the way this team is built is to do just that.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what they need to do to a very talented quarterback. And once they start doing stuff like that, don't even matter if the team can score 17 to 24 points. The Giants are going to be able to create turnovers.
For sure.
They're going to be able to create stops. They're going to be able to create short fields for the offense. And those are all great things when you talk about an experienced quarterback on the other side that knows how to at least get some field goals.
Yeah.
There's so many times in the last few years where the Giants were in the red zone. In 2022, they were one of the top 5 teams in the league in red zone. Since then, I'm probably sure they was in the bottom 10 in red zone conversions. You want to see a team that struggles? They probably struggle in the red zone. If the Giants can figure out that part with this experienced quarterback and this young rushing attack, I think Cam Scatterbull, look at him as being an X factor on third downs in the passing game.
Yeah, for sure. Smooth. Yeah, smooth like butter. For sure. The other thing that gives me optimism is that the line that Washington's rolling out there with is not the one that they had last year. Yeah, they added Laramie Tunsil as a left tackle, and he's a solid guy. And Wiley, but you're talking about he's not Wiley's. I don't think is going to start. I think they're starting the rookie at right tackle, and Cosme went down, so it's a backup on right guard. That whole right side of the line is a little bit suspect, and this is Tunsil's first year, so we know what a lack of continuity on the team can do. Right? They're not going to be playing at their best, and we've got a defensive front that can eat their fucking lunch, and I want that to happen.
He's a professional F-bomber as well.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm
target acquired, payload delivered.
Jesus, holy hell. Just tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, right. Well, clip that. Here we go.
Yeah. Jesus, wow. Okay.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to that. Forward to
that. Boys, you know what time it is?
It's trivia time.
All right. So I hope you guys are ready, because I'm asking you guys to go back in your Wayback Machine.
Ooh. My Wayback Machine.
Way back.
Think back to that first win against the Patriots in the Super Bowl. We are making this show Washington Giants heavy, so here we go. Boom.
In the New York Giants 2008 season opener, a Thursday night football matchup against Washington, then the Redskins, who scored the first touchdown for the Giants?
Ready?
2008 season opener, Thursday night game, who scored the first touchdown? We're going to get some options.
But there they are.
Plex, Brandon, Toomer, or Manning? Who scored the first touchdown?
Damn it.
I'm going to say B, Brandon Jacobs.
Damn, I was going to go with Brandon Jacobs too.
You can.
You can, but then you'll both be,
Then you'll both be wrong.
Both be what?
And you both be answering the question the same way.
Yeah.
I'm going A. I'm going against my first thought, but we don't have to be correlated with this. We can go another way. I'm still like,
that's one of my favorite quotes. One of my favorite quotes of all time is, "Look, I could agree with you, but then we'd both be wrong." So
right. So one of us have a better chance of being right. All right, what we got?
The answer is D. Eli Manning. The game's first touchdown came from an Eli Manning 1-yard rushing touchdown that capped off an 84-yard opening drive.
It had to be like one of 2 rushing touchdowns for Eli Manning in his career.
He didn't actually rush in. He took a scooter.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually him. It was actually his alter ego. You know who that is?
Chad Powers.
Exactly. Little Chad Powers action.
Can you believe they're making a movie? They're making a Chad Powers movie, for God's sake.
Is that a real thing?
It's a real thing, and I'm actually a little bit mad about it. I'm not going to watch it. I may actually picket the thing outside it because it's a fucking stupid idea. But hey, Hollywood.
I want you to think of all the stupid things they've ever made movies about.
Yeah.
That actually doesn't sound too bad.
It's on the top. You couldn't just leave Chad Powers alone. Think fast, run fast. That's all it needed to be. He went to Penn State. He showed everybody up. That's all it needed to be. Why are you making a movie? Come on.
Listen, did you need another Naked Gun?
Well, the world needed another Naked Gun.
Is it out? That's out, right?
Oh yeah, the second Naked Gun. It's ridiculous, and it was supposed to be. Yeah.
It was everything you thought it was going to be and more. It was exactly.
And more. Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, Spaceballs 2, I'm expecting
it's going to be so good.
I'm expecting the exact same thing.
That's the name of my fantasy football team is actually Spaceballs, the fantasy team. So
I like it.
I'm looking forward to this season.
My team is being renamed the Flying Peacocks.
Yes, for those of you who have seen the other guys. If you haven't, it's a great movie. Go check it out.
Yes. Come on, Captain. Just let me fly like a peacock. Peacock can't fly. I love that. I'm sorry.
That's good stuff.
I just don't like no scrubs.
No, you can't.
Go ahead. All right, boys. This is the Big Blue Report. Guys, let's give predictions for Sunday. I'm sorry. We left away without giving the prediction for Sunday. All right. We're going to start with JC. Go ahead, buddy.
Damn it. I was thinking in my head earlier when I was walking my dog. I said, is he going to do predictions?
Yes, I am.
Predictions. So I definitely had a number in my head. I don't know. Remember I told you guys, I said, I'm just going to get rid of my expectations for the Giants because in 2023, my heart was like broken. I was really emotionally distraught.
Every episode, JC was saying with the Kraken, like, this is the week they're going to turn it around.
Yeah.
But I do, like Ryan, I do feel like this is a little bit different. I think that's pretty much a consensus feeling for Giants Nation. Listen, I think the Giants are going to go out there and surprise some people. I could do it 27-24 either way, but I'm gonna put my name in the Giants hat this week. I think their defense comes up late in the game comes up with a play, because I think it's going to come down to the last play of the game. And if Jayden Daniels has the ball, I'm betting Abdul, Dexter, Adebo, one of those guys on defense is going to make a great play to end the game.
Love it. Love it.
Right.
So JC has taken the over. I think they set the over-under at 45. I am going to just take the under. I'm going to say Giants 24-20. I think there's going to be some stops and a couple of field goals in this game from every team, but there's going to be a few touchdowns as well. So 24-20 Giants.
I'm excited to see what this offense is going to look like. I'm very excited to see what this defense is going to look like. I'm trying to keep the expectation level at an even keel for me. I don't want to get too excited about what I've seen so far. I'm trying not to buy into the hype. I'm also trying to be as realistic as we possibly can, because, like I said to Ryan earlier this week, I keep going back to what other teams looked like last year, and I'm not upgrading what the Giants have done. And I'm starting to do that. And these first two games, possibly going 2-0, doesn't seem too crazy. I'm going to put my name on a 31-27 win for the Giants.
Wow, high scoring.
Yeah, I think, and the reason why is, look, the Commanders were able to still put up points last year.
Yeah, they were like 30 points a game last year.
Yeah, so like their personnel, for better or for worse, that has not altered, it's not changed too much. So I'm looking about what they've done and what they're still capable of doing. And this offense, like we've said this about the Giants for like the last 2 years, if they had a capable quarterback, what they would be able to do with the weapons that they've had. So I'm watching practice videos of Malik Nabers being so excited about scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, right.
You know, I'm very interested to see what this team is going to look like, and I think they're going to be able to put points on the board.
37 is a lot of points.
No, I said 31-27.
Oh, 31-27. I thought you said 31-37. All right, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, 31-27.
31-27.
Even the Giants putting 31 points on the board.
That's a lot of points. That's double. That's double our average from last year.
Yep.
I think the Giants at one point went 17 straight games without scoring 20 points. So for me to put 30 points on the board, I'm going to give Russell Wilson a lot of credit, just because we're seeing a little bit of the Russell of old here, and a little bit of Russell of old, knew when to scramble, knew when to throw the ball. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and go 31-27 Giants.
Okay. Guys, we got football on Sunday.
Yeah.
We got football on Sunday.
Hey, we got football tomorrow.
It's the fucking toilet bowl, though. I almost don't even want to watch that game.
You're gonna watch it. Everybody's gonna watch it.
But I'm
gonna watch it in disgust the whole time.
We like to call
it. Take a shower after it. Just feel dirty. Yeah.
We like to call it
your
kiss your sister game.
Yeah, right.
No, kiss your sister. You know what I like when I'm watching games like this, and somebody comes up like, "Oh, who you want to win?" Nobody. Is who you cheering for? Yeah. None of them.
Nobody.
Why are you watching the game? You don't care for them. I hate them, actually.
All of them. Right.
Actually, I hate both of those teams.
Love the sport. Hate.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull a Parsons and just lay down on the medical table and take a nap during that game.
But it's also our job to watch these games. Right. It's our job to pay attention to the intricate details, to the things that's going on inside, to the things that the reporters are saying, so like the great thing about us, right? We're all intertwined because of football. Randy, you back Sports Page, and your history of covering the Giants as long as you have. Ryan, you being a avid Giants fan, me once playing for the Giants, but now we're literally, talking consistently about the Giants for years now. Yeah. So we have another type of perspective and another type of appreciation for not just the game, but this team. Yeah. And we kind of feel like we're part of the team, especially me, because I work in the building, you know what I'm saying? But Ryan, you've been with me at practice, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You see how it is. You've been able to talk to, Joe Shane and take a picture with him. So we're
one of the best days of my life, by the way. But anyway.
But we're not just, fans of the game, but we're invested, and that's the beautiful thing about what we do, because we watch the games with a different type of perspective and lens as we're watching this game. It's not just about, oh, fuck Dallas and fuck the Eagles. Yeah, but let me see if I can see any weaknesses, with them that we could talk about on our show.
I could say I say those things on away game days when I don't travel. You know what I mean? Like those are the days I'll say those things.
Yeah.
And it also doesn't hurt to JC, as you know, for being in that media room. It doesn't hurt to be invested in the omelet bar.
Yeah, for sure.
So just
listen, you're absolutely right. I mean, but look, I'll take my Tums and drop the Alka-Seltzer and watch the game, because you're right. It's time to watch some football, and it's time to see what the weaknesses are, and it's time to put that lens on and see what we might be able to do. And look, what do we know, right? I mean, we're not in this. There are coaches that are way more experienced at that and better than that than we are. But it is incumbent upon us to know something about it, so we can at least have some sort of informed opinion for this show. And that makes it actually makes it that much more rich for somebody like me, because I'm just a fucking fan, right? At the end of the day, I'm just a fan that watches the game. I love the game. I love talking ball. I love talking Giants. So at the end of the day, being able to watch with that lens, it makes it a little bit more special for me. So looking forward to this season, if not for football being back, but for that as well.
Yeah, and for me, this is now officially season number 14.
Yeah,
wow.
Covering the team.
Hey.
I've been there longer than I've been there longer than a lot of these other clowns covering the team. I think they know what they're doing. We love
talking to you, Stapleton. Yeah, no.
Not Art.
I love Art.
No.
Art's the best.
We gotta love Art. That's why I can.
Art's the best.
Everybody loves
I love Art. I'll give you a list of people I don't like later, and you can make that comment. We'll edit that up. We'll edit that part out. Art, we'll name somebody else.
Especially you, Patty Trainer.
Yeah.
JC
Patty
wants
knows
cookies.
I love Patty.
You and your cookies.
Patty, she knows I love her. I love Patty.
You take that, Ed Valentine.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, I like that. So yeah, you can't win here.
These are all friends of the show.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. Love that.
And by the way, we have a personal request that JC will tell you about off air about who we want on next week's show. So we'll tell you about that, because I don't want to start teasing stuff on air that we might be.
That's right. We might not be able to deliver.
Did you guys say last week we're gonna have this person on? I have no idea what you're talking about. Damn it, they remembered.
Categorically deny the whole thing.
Yes. That's exactly right. All right, guys. So enjoy week one. We will be back next week to break it all down. For Ryan Darlington, the professor, JC, the two-time Super Bowl champion, former defensive captain of New York Football Giants, and myself, backsportspage.com, and avid Madden player who always loses. My name is Randy Zellea, and we'll see you next time here on the Big Blue Report.